Hey everybody, Tyler Reiss here, and I want to thank you so much for sticking with us and watching these videos. I'm hoping that you find some value in these real estate videos that we're putting out, these longer videos, these 15 to 20 minute conversations that I have with people inside the industry of the ups and downs and the ins and outs of what they do, not only for you, but for us as well. This week we had Pete and Mindy from Eagle Home Inspections on, and they were great to meet. This is my first time meeting them. My preferred inspector has retired, so I've been looking for new ones, and I still work with the ones that I've worked with before, but they reached out, and I had a great conversation with them. I hope to see you at the next inspection with them, and with that, I think we should get started with Pete and Mindy at Eagle Home Inspections.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. I'm Tyler Reiss with Hoekstra and Reiss at Edina Realty, and today I've got a couple of guests, Pete and Mindy with Eagle Home Inspections. Full disclosure, this is Pete and Mindy and I's first time meeting each other,
Yep.
and I think it's a great time to get to know one another about the process of a home inspection, what a buyer can expect, not only from their inspector but an agent as well on there. We've never done an inspection together, so it's kind of going to be a really cool evolution of what can we provide for you guys. So we're just going to kind of jump right into a conversation of Eagle Home Inspections.
yeah.
How long have you been inspecting homes?
Well, I got started in about 2005 with another inspector,
Sure.
and he got me going. It's something I always had in the back of my mind doing. I
Yep.
don't know why. So I got going with him, and just when I was getting on my own, 2008 hit, and that's when the market
Oh, yeah.
took a dive a little.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Definitely.
so I was inspecting part-time then and working at our family business the other part of the time.
Sure.
And then got back in inspecting full-time about 6 years ago.
Okay. So
It's
and
kind of the pattern of that.
so you do the inspections and
I run
and
the
you run the
office.
show.
She
Yep,
runs the
yep.
office,
Yeah,
scheduling,
you know.
I do all the
yep,
scheduling,
Yeah.
I do follow-ups.
She does all the hard stuff.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, no, it's always good to have
Yeah,
that
yeah.
teamwork behind
Yep.
there and
Yeah.
for all that. So
Definitely.
you do all the scheduling.
Yep.
How do people? So we get right down to it. How do people get it scheduled? Is it a customer usually, or is it an agent calling you?
It's both.
Okay.
It could be both. Somebody will find our website or find us on Google and
Yep.
give me a call.
And your website is?
mnhomecheck.com.
It's at the bottom of the screen right now. You guys can't see it, but everybody else
Right
can.
here.
We'll keep this up so they know who you are
Okay.
on
Yeah.
that. So mnhomecheck.com.
Yep.
Do they schedule online? Do they
They
call
are
to confirm?
able to schedule through our website,
Okay.
also through our Facebook page.
Sure. Oh wow.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, this is
Yep, I have it all set up, so it's
Yeah, we're trying to get high tech.
Yeah.
yeah,
these
yeah.
things.
It's
Well,
easy, yeah.
with these days you kind of have to,
Yeah.
you know,
or
on
if you
there
have
just
questions,
differentiate
Call.
yourself
Yeah.
on there.
Yep.
Perfect.
Call,
Perfect.
email,
yeah, whatever.
text.
Text.
We know going into like the spring market, when we're trying to get a hold of you, our contingency time frames. Sometimes you have to be competitive.
tight.
How many days out are you usually scheduled?
I am only scheduled out about a week,
Okay.
believe it or not. And
What-
a lot of
Right
people
now.
find that amazing.
Yeah.
But at just about every inspection,
Yep.
we need it, 1 to 5 days.
Right.
Which
yeah.
is fine.
It's
And-
pretty tough to get anything further
and
than that.
Further out, every now and then somebody does, and usually that's buying dad's house or something. And
Right.
they got 6 months. And,
Yeah. Not super
that's
time
rare,
sensitive.
But it's always short, and
Yep.
I kind of like that. Call me up and
We'll make it happen.
fit it in. And,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and make it work with your time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Pretty flexible.
So I'm going to kind of back up just a little bit, just in case people haven't bought a house and they haven't been through an inspection process.
Right.
A lot of times, as you're out house hunting, they find it, and then they don't know where to start. It's like, well, the next time is this inspection time frame for you to come and take a look at it.
Yep.
So we get you guys into the home, and then a buyer's there to do a kind of a review of the inspection with you. Are they there during the inspection? What do you prefer? Do you give them the report that day?
I prefer them there through the majority of the inspection.
Yep.
Personally, I like to get there about half hour early so I can do my thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Run through the
Get
house.
set up. Yep.
I walk into every house. I have no idea what I'm dealing with.
Right.
I
Yep.
mean, I'm walking in blind, and I like to just walk through alone and
Yeah.
see what I'm seeing.
Yep.
And then they show up, and then we go through it again in detail.
Yep.
and give them an education of what the house is
Sure.
and what they're buying, how to maintain it, all that. And
Yeah.
then at the end, they get a report that same day. I don't print it out anymore. We used to print them out on site, but the reports these days take longer and longer.
Yeah.
More and more stuff, more pictures, and so I go back to the office, do that, and then
Yeah.
it gets emailed out that same night.
Okay.
So quick turnaround, quick as we can. Radon's
Yeah.
the one that slows it down. That's a 48-hour test. So
Yep. Do you do radon tests?
Yes.
we do that too.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. And a lot of buyers don't know all of this stuff. They find out all of this stuff
Oh, I
of the
know.
hurry
I
up
know.
and wait of you need to
Right.
get all this stuff in.
All
Right.
this
on
stuff,
there.
and yeah, and so the radon, it's
Yep.
got to sit there for 2 days. So I try to get that
Yep.
in 2 days ahead. But
Yep.
Unless it's summer.
Um,
If it's summer, we need 3 days.
Right.
Yeah,
Those
3
windows
days.
Because
have
you,
to be
you
closed.
need to shut those windows
Yes.
on
it's
there.
tough. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to add 12 hours if the windows were open. So
One thing I really like what you said was having a buyer there for the majority of the time.
Yep.
I know that's not typical in a lot of home inspections, and it's something that my previous inspector, he retired, and he didn't get fired or anything. He retired, so I'm glad to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Is he liked them there because everything is a little bit easier to explain in person.
Right.
You know,
well, it is.
how I kind of sell that as here, everything looks way worse in writing. You
It
know?
does. The
Right.
reports look pretty bad. If you just pick up a report, you're, oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you have
Oh my
no
God.
concept box to put that
and
in.
that's the process, is educating these people on what it is. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot of things wrong in a home that
I mean, homes aren't
can
perfect.
be left. I feel like the only guy that says that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, this has been wrong for 30 years, and it's probably going to continue not hurt anything.
Right.
But it's wrong, and we educate them on what
Yeah.
that is. And if they feel it's an issue, then here's what you're looking at changing that.
Yep. I think anybody could.
So now they know what they're buying. Some people really don't care. Some do, and everyone has an opinion. We're just there to show them what it is.
Right.
And
Right.
the older the home gets, the more that becomes relative.
Right.
So you could say every 100-year-old home, everything is
Yep.
wrong, but it's not.
Right.
It's a gray
it's,
area.
it's what are you willing to live
So,
with?
Right.
Right, and it's education of what they're buying, and
Yeah.
then this is how you maintain this. So,
I like how you phrase that as well. The education of buying it.
right.
Homes aren't perfect, even
No.
brand new homes. I'm sure
No, they're
you've
not.
got a list of
They're-
things there too. The worst thing I think can happen in a real estate transaction is getting an inspector that thinks they know absolutely everything and they feel it's their job to tear the house apart, and it scares the buyer on there versus approaching it as we don't know what we're looking at here when we're going in.
Right.
You're just very objectively looking
Mm-hmm.
here. This isn't wired correctly. You should switch those wires. Stuff like
Right,
that. I
right,
looked at
right.
an outlet right there, and that's usually something simple, on there. But it sounds like an electrical hazardous issue. They use those words in those reports. So I
Right.
like that. You invite them there. You've got that. You're able to de-escalate something before someone just reads it.
Well, yeah,
when they get home
two
from
prong
work.
outlets, there's technically nothing wrong with those,
Right. Yep.
but this is what it is, and
Yeah. Yeah.
if you don't want to live with that, then this is what you need to do to change it, and
Yep.
so.
That's good. I'm really glad that because it's
It's-
very
it's-
similar to what Dave did.
Sure.
Well, yeah, to approach that, like, you have to update everything to the latest safety, and you
Yeah.
just can't practically do it. Some things you can,
Yeah.
some things you can't, and it's just not worth it.
Uh,
You know.
it's a good point to kind of transition into just a little bit of a different gear of a lot of people say, well, did it pass inspection?
Oh, I hate that. It never pass.
I figure
They never
it might.
pass. You decide if it
it's-
passes or not.
Right. Yeah.
I don't hate that.
But it's a common misconception of a buyer.
Well,
of,
it is. And most people think the house is either perfect or there's one thing wrong, and
Yeah.
it's never perfect.
So in the
And if you ask why they're wrong, it's because the last person living there didn't care about them. A lot of these people know about these things. The light switches that don't work, well, whatever.
yeah, it's like
Now you
I
move
don't
in,
go down
and now
there
that
anymore.
might bother you. Well,
Yep.
now you know.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, and for
It-
for people who don't know, I mean, they use that terminology of passing or failing an inspection.
Right.
I tell them, I say it's really for a buyer's benefit. so you know more about the property
Yep,
on
yep.
here. We don't look for a honey-do list, on there. We know
Yeah.
homes aren't perfect. It's
Yeah.
hazardous issues, maybe appraisal issues, which, you
Right.
could point things out, things that could be safety issues or
Yeah.
something that'd be completely unknown on a walkthrough.
Right, right.
Is there insulation in the attic?
Well, the attic's a big one.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's where I really want to get to is an attic.
Yeah.
Because it tells so much. People don't, well, they do go in attics and they
Yep.
do things wrong or whatever, but it tells a lot of stories.
yeah,
It just, there's so much information in an attic.
sure.
And it's fun to read an attic.
Yeah, you kind of feel
It's
like
not fun getting in
you kind
some
of
of
feel
them,
like a
but-
detective, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go up there and see
Have you-
all this stuff. And the rest of the house, everything's painted and,
Yeah.
new and
Covered up.
all covered up. And I just pictured over the years what it looked like. And
Yeah. So,
So,
speaking of attics, have you encountered any critters in an attic when you go up there?
yeah.
Or a crawl space?
Yeah, well, only one squirrel in
Yeah.
an attic. I got up there and there he was looking at me. And,
Yeah.
And I didn't know if he was going to come through,
Yeah.
and nothing happened. He just sat there.
Yeah.
So then I went up there and did my thing. But
Yeah. It's
I see a lot of evidence of mice in attics.
Yeah.
That's the most thing, or for pests up in
Right.
the attic is mice.
so it's not shocking.
Not
it
to me,
like
no, but
right.
to buyers that
Yeah.
one is.
Yeah, they
That's
find
a
that
big
it's
deal.
like
And say, well, every house has a certain amount of mice to it.
maybe I'll retract shocking. I'll go. It's not abnormal to see that in
Oh, no.
homes,
No.
on there. So
No, and then is this past, or is this active? Do we have
Right.
mice now?
yeah,
Rare to see an actual mouse in the attic running
Right.
around.
yeah.
So,
That's a good point on there because you've seen hundreds of homes or thousands of homes, and so have we.
yeah.
But like I said, buyers are spending a lot of money on this stuff, and it
Yeah.
kind of affects them and more emotional than us. And maybe
Right.
we get just kind of realize, okay, we see this, but here's the fix to it too.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Take
Well,
the
and
drop-ins
everything
out
can
there.
be improved.
Yeah. Yep.
Just about every house you can improve your attic insulation, just so everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Can always be better.
Yeah. Well, we don't want
And,
this.
that's the whole but here we're coming into ice dam season here in
Yeah.
March, and that's when that's when that really matters. And so we have to focus on what's relevant to the house and
Yeah.
what matters with that. And
Yep. Do you see agents attend inspections very often?
some do. Some I've never seen at an inspection, and it doesn't matter to me either way. Usually when they do is because they want to know from what I'm personally telling them what is
Yeah.
going on with the house versus
Yeah.
trying to read through 40 pages of a report to figure out
Yeah.
And multiple
what the
phone
deal
calls
is with
and
the house
emails
is.
and-
So,
Yeah.
but some like reading the report and they go, okay, and every now and then they'll read it and be confused on something. But
Right.
I try to write so we've never met and I just hand this to you and you can get a picture of what
Yeah.
the house is.
Yeah.
That's what takes so long writing these reports. Lots of pictures, lots of illustrations. When I started, it was all handwritten. No one understood what that was.
It's like-
And then it was just written. Now we got to put pictures in and all of this.
Yeah.
But when it's just words, people don't know.
And I think the importance of working with an agent, kind of that relationship between inspector and agent, of kind of understanding how you guys operate.
Yeah.
In there, I like to attend if any way possible. As long as the customers are there, is
Yep.
the last hour or so too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
One, you kind of get a feel for what the buyer's thinking at that point. Kind of, is there anything that maybe we need to head off
Yeah,
here,
right. Yeah.
or say, okay, here's your concern, or anything like that. And then the
Right.
more and more you work with each other, it's like, okay, I can maybe interpret those questions a little bit more, but then lean on, okay, yeah, maybe explain this a little bit better, on there. So
Right, yeah.
I kind of like that as the relationship as well, and I think that's important to have that in an inspector and agent one, because
Yep.
most people say, well, yep, he's my home inspector. Well, he was my home inspector when I bought a house 10 years ago.
Right.
People
Yeah.
don't buy homes that often.
No, they don't.
So
No.
it's nice to have that on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you're partnering your location, you're going west of the metro area now?
Well,
Trying to.
we're based out
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Plymouth.
Okay.
And we work all over the place.
Yep.
You know, Southern County metro area.
Sure.
But I've been known to go out farther.
Yep.
St. Cloud, Belle Plaine, wherever. You know,
Yeah.
we get the weird ones out there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun to go out
You
in the
get these
country. I
one-offs.
love it.
Yeah.
I love going out in the country. Everybody thinks it's a lot of work to go west.
As
And
a
for me to
lifetime
go
Buffalo
from-
resident,
from-
I hear that all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
from Plymouth to Buffalo is way easier than Plymouth to Woodbury. Way
Traffic
easier.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it just is. It doesn't matter where to me really, but
Yeah.
I just
We
you
go
know,
where we're needed.
I have no problem going west.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's perfect. And how long are your inspections typically? You know, on your call it your 3-bed, 2-bath split
The
in
typical
town.
house about 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Okay. So, which is normal from my experience as well too. You know,
Yeah,
some of them
yeah.
kind of maybe get in there and do the hour and a half because they like to do it by themselves or they have 2 people looking at it. But I like that 3 hours. That
Yep.
way you
If
spend some
if
time in
it's
there.
just me, it's hour and a half, I bet.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and then I'm thinking I got to spend another hour here because I'm used to that. And
Right. Yeah.
over it again, it's like
Yeah,
I don't
fine-tooth
have to
comb.
go over
Yeah.
anymore. I know what. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that just it shows the time talking and explaining what everything is going on.
Here, what's the craziest thing that you've experienced in a home inspection?
It's people. A lot of people,
People.
think it's some weird
People.
thing, and I mean I could tell you all kinds of story about weird things in the house. But I
Yeah.
had one house I was there, and I'm in the house. I'm just getting going. The agent texted me. I don't know how she knew this, but she goes, "There's some people squatting, living out in the yard shed in the back."
Oh.
Just so you
Okay.
know. And I'm okay. So I look out back, and yeah, there is. And I was like, what do I do with this? So I went out and I met him. I said, this is me. This is what we're doing. And
Yeah.
don't feel you have to leave. I'm not telling
Noted
you
in the
anything. This is
inspection,
not my
you know.
property. You do what you got to do. And
Were the
have
s- were the
renters
squatters
out
there was no big deal.
were the squatters written into the purchase
It
agreement?
was no big deal. I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That.
but there was that. The worst is the renters, though.
Yeah.
You go in, you gotta go through the bedrooms, and there's a guy in there passed out in the bed. I'm not
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
And he almost looks like you should call 911. And
Yeah. It's like poke him.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
are
alive?
you
trying
alive?
to go through
Okay.
this bedroom, and there's
Yeah.
this poor guy in there. I mean, that's more common than you think.
Right. Yeah.
With it. They
So it's not unique. I mean, if people are watching this, yeah, we deal with that, and a vacant home is way easier to inspect, way easier to
Oh, we
show
love vacant homes.
on
Yeah.
there. But homeowners, they understand, most of the time. But it's those
yeah,
those
yeah.
renters,
It's the homeowner, it's the
absolutely.
renters. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, people like,
and
well,
I'm not putting all renters down.
No,
It's
no.
It's in just some of them. They just don't leave, and
Under-
a lot of them don't
understood.
know what's going on. They're the last ones that even know what's going on. I show up and
I didn't know there was an inspection
yeah,
today.
there's an
Right, yeah.
inspection. What? And I think I'm inspecting them.
Yeah.
And then they find a few phone calls, and then they find out, oh, he's inspecting the property, and then,
Oh.
this is wrong, that's wrong. I mean, they almost do the report
Yeah,
for me.
They do it
yeah,
for you.
exactly. Yeah, right.
So-
You're like, got
Look
it.
at this. Look at this. Look at
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
It's just kind of fun. But.
Now more so into the inspection industry. Any pet peeves that you think other inspectors miss, or that they find that is like it's always on the hot list, of a buyer?
I work alone, and the hardest thing I have is what is the competition doing at the inspection?
Sure.
I'm always wondering, and we meet monthly with our group and talk
Yep.
for a continuing ed, but what are they doing, what are they not? So I hear things about
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
The
and
hot
I'll
items.
read other
Yeah.
reports and whatnot. And
Right,
see
yeah.
stuff, and we all kind of, we all think we're better than the next guy.
Right. Yeah.
But we all get along pretty good, too. We all meet, we got a big group of us, and
and
we're
the
in
fact-
competition, but we're
the fact
not.
is there's so many out there though.
Right.
There's so many,
Right.
homes to inspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's competition, but you couldn't get all of them anyway
No.
No,
on there.
no.
But
No.
No,
So,
so
which
think
is competition,
the
but
one
it's
thing
more
I think,
your
going back
colleague.
to attics, I think that's really important to do what you can do to get up in there. And I know
Yeah.
I hear reports some people don't go in attics, some people don't walk roofs. That's the other one.
Yeah.
How do you not walk a roof? Granted, there's some
ice
you
dam
can't.
season. Yeah.
Scary.
But,
Yeah.
but I mean, you're talking, I don't know, what, 80, 90% of the roofs you can walk
Yep.
and
Yep.
get up there and look at the thing. And I've got a camera on a pole you can put up and look, and even a drone.
Yeah, you get
Sure.
drones,
But
can get
you
up.
can't see
Yep.
with the drone what you can walking.
Right.
Right.
Agreed.
So,
But
and-
if the roof is,
There. You do.
yeah, new
you
homes,
do what
new,
you
newer
can.
Yeah,
homes,
newer
they're
homes
kind
have
of
been-
scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, especially
but-
on that back level where it's
God.
3 stories
Right,
down,
it's
you know,
500
on
feet
there.
down.
Hey,
You get up there,
nice
that roof
concrete
looks
patio.
straight down.
So you mentioned a drone. You have some extra technology to help you and the buyer.
Yep.
Right,
you know,
to see
do
what I
that.
can see.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my eyes on everything
Yep.
as best I can.
Which is good instead of just saying, well, I couldn't see it. You know.
Right. For the inside, he's
Good
got
luck.
infrared camera.
Yeah, the infrared, that we hope those would show us more
Yeah.
in a home.
They are
but-
pretty cool,
but
though.
they're
They are.
They do show some things. To me, I use it more for just speed.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I can just look at temperatures and
Yeah.
know what I'm looking at. It's just way quicker.
That's cool. I'm gonna put an example on the screen right now. When I say they're cool, well, they are cool.
They are.
Oh yeah, they
You know,
are. You
on
can have
there,
a lot
it's
of fun
like
with those things.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like
They're
don't drop that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk through
Yeah.
walk on a wood floor and then
Yeah.
through your camera. You
Yeah,
can see your
yeah.
footprints.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So inspection-wise, cost. What do you guys charge for a typical home inspection?
Typical home is high 300 to 400 for
Okay.
your
Yeah.
2,000-ish square foot home.
Sure.
I don't really care if they're new or old.
Yep.
Some inspectors charge more for that.
Yep.
I don't know. To me, it's
home's
just
a home.
different things.
Right.
Just
Which
because it's old or
if-
new, it's like this is just the old home stuff. This is the
yeah.
And
Yeah.
to me, it's about the same amount of work. There's a lot of old homes that are a lot easier.
Yeah.
They're just an empty shell. With
Yeah.
nothing
It's a
in
box.
It.
It's a box.
So
Which that price, for people wondering, I mean, I've worked with a bunch of different inspectors. That's very, very competitive and pretty standard inside the industry, you know, on
yeah,
there.
it's always kind of been. It's gone
Yeah.
up a little bit over the years. And,
Yeah,
and,
like everything.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
What hasn't?
Radon's one
Interest
that went up.
rates.
We started licensing for radon last year, so
Yep.
this
Yeah.
is our second year into that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
because of that, there's some extra things we have to do, and so
Yep.
that went up. That we charge $175 for just
With
a
the
test.
inspection.
Yep.
With the inspection.
Yep. Which is normal as well. So it's not like you're adding on a la carte of trying to
No.
gouge them
No.
on this add-on.
Right. Yep.
Everybody
Yep.
has that add-on because
Yep.
it's optional. You know, a lot of people
Oh,
hear
yeah,
it
yeah.
and they think it's required. Well, it's not.
It's not.
The
No, it's not
disclosure of what
required.
radon is required, but
Right.
it's not. It's not required to do an inspection. It's not required to be even mitigated if it's
Right.
high. You know,
No,
on there.
nothing's
Some people don't
required
hear. Right.
with that. It
Going
just-
back to the
it's just
pass
for your-
fail.
Yep.
Yeah,
on
Yeah.
there.
yeah,
So.
yeah. The amount of time we've had into the education and continuing education, testing
Yep.
and testing on radon it feels like it's the same amount as the home inspection.
Yeah.
It's not. but-
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
It's not, but it just feels that just for how much we've had to go through. And,
Sure.
and I forget, do we need 20 or 12 continuing ed now a year for them?
12 for
12,
radon.
12 for radon, it's 20 for home inspection.
Yep.
Wow.
So
Yep.
that's how much continuing ed we're doing now.
And it's a little hard to get.
Yeah.
But, you know,
And radon never changes. That's the hard part about that continuing ed. It's just this is the information, and it's
And
the
here it
same.
is again.
There's no new
yeah.
developments with radon.
Yeah.
There's just nothing. Home inspection, there's always new stuff, new
Right.
materials, new
Right.
all kinds of that.
Yeah. Discovery of
Radon,
new
it's let's
issues
talk
like
about
the
the same thing again. So,
like the IFAS,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, the stucco, everything like that.
yeah,
We
yeah.
didn't know it was a problem until 10 years later.
Right.
you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
on
yeah,
there.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, it's definitely nice to hear that it's certified. You're continuing the education on there because in Minnesota, there's no requirement to be a licensed inspector.
Not for home inspection.
Not for home inspection.
Not
People
yet.
don't know
No,
that.
so-
But it's nice to know, not yet exactly. There's plenty of other states that do that. But it's nice knowing someone's putting that extra work and that education into it.
Right.
It's just not, you know, somebody that just has a ladder and a truck and will come and collect your, you know, $400 and
Yep.
say
Write a
okay.
report.
And,
Yep.
yeah, this one passes.
Oh yeah.
know,
we-
on
we-
on there,
we meet-
on there,
we
it's
meet
fine.
monthly, and
Yeah.
This month is, I don't know, we're doing plumbing, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a plumber will come in and
Sure.
teach us the latest and greatest, and we
Which is-
get our
which is good.
questions
Yep.
answered. And
Yeah, which
You
is
know,
really good. I
so-
mean, I think that's a really big sell of the quality and the value you can bring
Right.
to those buyers and the
Right.
agents out there. I mean,
Sure.
agents will probably
Yeah.
watch this as well
Yeah.
Yeah.
on there. I mean, give them a shot, and it's really that working relationship,
Yep.
Yeah.
you know, on there, because some days you know, your preferred inspector isn't available. You
Correct.
know, they're humans too. They get vacations or they get really busy,
Right.
you know, on there
Right,
too.
right.
So,
Yep.
which is awesome. So I encourage everybody to at least try it, you know,
Right.
on
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, your contact information is still here, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, contact your favorite agent, me, and we can go there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
is there
yeah.
anything that you want a buyer to know that maybe we haven't touched on yet?
Can't think of anything.
Oh, I'm sure there is. And on
Yeah.
the top of my head
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now.
Buy a home and find out.
I guess
Yeah.
is don't feel overwhelmed, and they're
Right.
going to through the inspection process, because after you look at how many houses do you show before you sell? 20, 30, 40, 50?
It depends.
depends. Yeah.
It really
Yeah,
depends.
I know. And then we
Yep.
show up, and here's a,
Here's your dream home, and here's
your
what's wrong with
dreams
it.
and crush, kind of, not really, but that's any home.
Yeah.
That's the reality. So don't worry about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank
yeah.
you very much
Well,
for
thank you.
coming in.
Yep.
And
Thanks,
again,
Tyler.
remember, it's Pete and Mindy with Eagle Home Inspections, and I'm Tyler Reiss with Hoekstra and Reiss at Edina Realty. We hope to see you at the next inspection.